Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Xillia. In the last episode, we did some preparations before we head off to go ahead and attack the base of operations that Gilland and his band of evildoers are on right now. We did a couple side quests, as well as prepared via leveling up a shop and getting more equipment and stuff like that. And now, we are ready to go and assault Gilland's magnificent vessel that apparently is out at sea right now. Using this ship we commandeered 2 episodes ago, we will be able to go ahead and reach it. All you have to do now is go up to Gaius's chamber here, and then if you go up to Gaius himself, he will have a green exclamation mark, and if you go ahead and just sit down and talk to him, it'll say, "Are you ready to depart?" Yes, we are ready to depart.
What are Rashagal's soldiers doing here?
I summoned them here, although fewer came than I had hoped.
Ah, looks like Ivor's still here too.
That fool. He abandoned his duty to Neokera.
Your Highness, perhaps a few words.
Once, we turned our swords upon each other and fought for control of Rizamaxia. Today, we come together not as enemies, but as allies. We have already located the enemy's headquarters, a ship known as the Zenethra. Fear not the battle to come, brothers. United, we will not falter. Together, we shall reclaim our world!
Launch the ship.
Your Highness! We've detected a high-energy channeling circle surrounding all of Rizamaxia. Here it comes!
What's happening? It's like my mana's being sucked dry.
I know this feeling.
They're using the Lance of Kresnik to absorb the entire world's mana.
The spirit fuel plan.
I won't let them hurt our people. I will protect Rizamaxia. Make us airborne!
It would seem the channeling circle has no effect at this altitude.
Are you okay? I've got an awful headache. Better have you looked at in the infirmary. I'll come with you.
What's wrong?
Where did Mila go?
I do not see her.
I'll go find her.
Why can't I shake this dreadful feeling? Is my doubt causing this too?
There you are. I've been looking for you. Mind if I join you?
Sure. It's funny. I was once able to soar like this whenever I wished. But I'm not sure I realized just how beautiful the world is until now. I suppose I took it for granted.
Hey, Mila? We talked about this before, but when this battle is over...
Yes?
Actually, never mind.
I see. Jude, there's something I need to tell you. It's about me. About who I really am.
What do you mean?
I never meant for this to happen. But in the end, I lied to you.
Hey, lover boy! Get over here!
Wait, what do you mean you lied?
She's calling you. You should go. We can finish this conversation later.
All right.
Am I afraid that Jude will learn the truth? As if the four could really come. What's happening?
Something up?
Something up? Look who's tall and mighty now.
We found the Zenethra.
So it's time. Jude.
Bad news, kid. They say a whole fleet of flying battleships is gathering around the Zenethra.
What?
Sorry I'm late.
Jude, what was that? It was just like the Lance of Kresnik, wasn't it?
No doubt the Zenethra was the actual source of that light.
And I think that they put another hole in the schism.
You're right. At least no ships were able to come through this time.
Maybe they sent the men and they gathered back to Olympias.
Looks like your fuel plant theory was right.
It seems like the only time that I'm right is when I'm talking about a worst-case scenario.
Wait a minute.
Well, looky there.
Enemy ship approaching! Everyone, brace for impact!
There's our welcoming committee.
Silence all of them!
And now we have to fight more of Gilland's goons here. One thing I kind of wanted to mention before we got too far in the episode, before I forgot. I'm sorry if, like, in the cutscenes, like, it seems a little wonky in some spots. I am editing cutscenes from both of the stories in the gameplay, or in the cutscenes themselves in this episode. So I just wanted to kind of forewarn you guys, if it's a little wonky, that's not the game, that was me editing. So,
You're more like the beast.
I hope you guys understand. Anyways, we just defeated them. They're really not too hard. Nothing we've seen before.
They just keep on coming.
Helmsman! Maintain course and ram it to the Zenethra!
All right, fine. If you say so. Just don't try to blame me if we crash and burn!
That was incredible.
I seem to have regained my powers thanks to your tethering.
I never imagined you would possess such power.
Of course, she's your big sis.
I'm glad you're on our side.
I am happy to lend my power to your cause.
What are you planning to do?
The mission would fail if the ship were to fall, yes?
I see. It sounds like we'll have to continue asking for your assistance.
Thank you, Muse. Take care.
Be safe. Mila, never forget that you are Maxwell.
We must act quickly, while the enemy reinforcements are being blocked.
We should split into 2 groups.
I know. Do what must be done, right?
We will put a stop to their plans right here. Our targets are Gilland and the Lance of Kresnik.
At your service, Lady Mila.
You again?
Hey! Stay out of our way!
But of course! I shall join Gaius's capable crew.
What?
Think you can fill Zhao's shoes in the Chimeriad?
Easily. Just watch me.
Let's go.
Guess they know a winner when they see one, phony.
Get over here, idiot.
How rude! But I shall let it slide.
Al,
What?
try not to die.
Let's go.
And now Ju can no longer tether with Muse, so if you had Muse as an art, you can't use her at this point. She's gone. Anyways, we're on the E.S.S Zenethra, the biggest ship in Gilland's army here. But first let's get here. Aboard the Zenethra. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
Alvin, can you lead the way?
Sorry, kid. I don't know the way. Gilland and I don't really get along. It's been 20 years since I've been here.
You always fail when we need you most!
Cut me some slack. Look, I'll make it up to you. When we see that Celsius chick, I'll take her down.
You said you wanted to kill Gilland!
Oh, did I?
I can't believe you!
Well, if you do remember anything, let us know, okay?
Truth is, I'd rather not remember.
So, it seems like Alvin's conflicted himself with this whole place. But Zenethra is, in fact... we can't go this way, by the way. The Zenethra is, in fact, a dungeon, and I have to stress this out. This dungeon is a missable dungeon. You can never come back here, and you'll understand why later in the story. But there's also, in this area right here, you've got shops, you've got inns that will heal you completely. So, I'm going to tell you right now, this dungeon is kind of like a really tough dungeon. So, you kind of want to be best prepared for it. They have you pretty much well supplied for this place. But here we're at the E.S.S Zenethra. And of course, we have to fight a bunch of goons right off the bat. So we're gonna go ahead and take out these soldiers right now. Now, this is kind of the part where you should. I'm gonna say this. This is where when I first played, this is where you mostly are going to unlock your Mystic Art ability. So honestly, this is probably the best training place to get your Mystic Arts and kind of like learn how to use it. Like I said before, the Mystic Arts are kind of odd to pull off. You have to be an over limit and such, but I'll get into more on that later.
What is this?
It's called a radio. Handy gizmo. You use it to communicate far distances.
We captured one of the intruders. Deploy all combat personnel immediately.
Whoa, we can talk!
What do you mean? You're talking to? You can't do this. I'm not dead.
Sounds like Ivor got caught. Should we rescue him?
Only after we finished everything else.
What's happening?
A great number of spirits have perished again.
Sounds like they used the Lance of Kresnik again.
We have to hurry.
And now we have a radio, and also we have a map of the Zenethra. Now, the radios, I'm going to tell you in this dungeon in particular, the reason why you got the radios, besides, you know, the little cutscene where Ivor got kidnapped, is the fact that enemies in this particular place they get a bunch of reinforcements. And it's not really that fun, because if you take too long in this dungeon, in certain rooms, they will respawn the enemies. So that's where this dungeon's the biggest gimmick of this dungeon comes down, is the enemies respawn quite frequently. And it kind of gets tiring after a while. But here we got another skit, On the Trail of 4. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
So the Lance of Kresnik is supposed to be on this ship. We have to find it and free the 4 great spirits. Especially since they're Mila's friends.
Yes. The 4 might understand the reason I'm so conflicted.
Mila?
Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Keep spacing out like that and we'll have to leave you here.
Well now, you've grown quite brazen with the Lord of Spirits. It is you who should worry about keeping up with me.
Oh, right. That's the Mila we know. We'll be right behind you.
And, like I said before, this is probably going to be the spot where you start learning your Mystic Arts. Now, like I said before in the last episode, Mystic Arts are kind of going to be a little bit difficult to pull off the first time. Essentially what you have to do is you have to go an over limit, and then after that you have to go over and use an arcane art, which in Jude's case, it's Savage Roar. As soon as you use the arcane art, you have to hold X, and as soon as you do that, you'll activate your Mystic Art. But this is where the main thing I was hoping I could find in this dungeon. The Silver Bakoras. The Silver Bakoras are first here. They're first, like, kind of like shown here. You can actually kind of find these guys right off the bat here in Zenethra. And like I said, this is a missable dungeon, so this is one of your few times you'll actually get to run into a Silver Bakora, which will, you know, you have to do that before you're trying to fill out your monster book, which is used for a trophy. Now, I will say this before because I thought this was like this the first time. Silver Bakoras are found here and one other place later in the game. Don't worry if you miss the Silver Bakora here. Now here I'm actually activating my Mystic Art. But Silver Bakoras are found in another spot. I can't remember what they are. I'd rather not because it kind of spoils the area, but they are in a later area. They're on a route. On a new route area. So, if that's what you're wanting to know, that's where they're at. Don't worry if you miss a Silver Bakora here at Zenethra. That's all I kind of wanted to say. These guys have a bunch of experience points, too.
Wow. It's like a mansion in here.
I thought this was a battleship.
No. The E.S.S Zenethra was a cruise ship that plied Olympia's oceans. It ended up here 20 years ago when part of the schism ruptured.
Wait a minute. That's when the Olympian army broke through the schism.
They did what? How could they break through from Olympias without the Lance of Kresnik?
I don't know the details.
The original Lance of Kresnik was developed by the Olympian army.
What do you know about it?
Not much more. I know the current Lance of Kresnik was modeled after it.
And your people made it because they wanted spirits.
Olympias is a world built on and developed around Spyrix. They're the foundation of our entire civilization.
Why can't you find a different foundation for your civilization?
I bet all Olympia's people are big fat lying barbarians just like Alvin.
Oh, now I'm a barbarian as well as a liar? It's not as simple as just giving up Spyrixes for some other technology. We're not like you. We don't have mana lobes.
Wait, what?
We can't wield spirit arts. We lack the ability to manipulate mana.
So you use Spyrixes instead?
Exactly. Damn it! They put up barrier bars.
Ooh, pretty!
Careful. Touch one and you'll be sliced in two.
What?
What should we do?
Security report. We've energized the barrier bars in the central sector. However, we're having trouble activating them in other sectors. What? Is something wrong with the generators? Negative. Both generators are functioning normally. The malfunction must lie elsewhere. We can't disengage the central barrier bars. Use every available soldier to guard the port and starboard generators. Defend them with your lives. Yes, sir.
Good timing.
It appears these bars will disappear if we disable the generators on the port and starboard sides.
Okay, let's find them.
So we are tasked with our next task, essentially. We have to go disable generators on the port and starboard sides of the ship. But first, we have a skit here. Mila the Conflicted. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
It's this way. Hurry.
Mila, you're bleeding. Stop for a second.
Huh? I hadn't noticed. They must have caught me off guard.
Even the mighty Maxwell needs to keep her head in the game.
As if I wouldn't know that. Sorry.
It's okay. There you go. All taken care of. Let's keep going.
Mila's still conflicted. Also, we have another skit here. Olympians.
Alvin, didn't you tell me that your weapon channeled fire spirits?
Ah, sorry. That was a lie. I don't have a mana lobe, so I can't channel anything.
Yet your weapon doesn't seem to be Spyrix-based.
Even I'm not foolish enough to pack Spyrix around the Lord of Spirits.
What's it like to not have a mana lobe?
It feels perfectly normal to me. What's it feel like to have one? Is it fun being able to control spirits?
I wouldn't say fun, exactly.
It does have its downsides. Like, our skill with spirit arts pretty much determines our future.
Ah, yeah, that doesn't apply to Spyrix. It's the same for everyone.
Indeed. It kills spirits regardless of who uses it.
Ah, come on. Don't look at me like that. We may not have mana lobes, but the people of Olympias are still the human beings you love so much.
And we kind of learn a little bit of tidbit from that cutscene and that skit. Olympians don't have mana lobes, so therefore they can't do what Rize Maxians can do and live their lives normally. That's why they have to depend on Spyrix, which you kind of have to feel kind of good, bad for them in a way. But here, I'm going to be, for the last part of the episode, I'm going to be showing off everybody's Mystic Arts right now. So, as of right now, we're going into play as Mila. You've already seen Jude's. Essentially, if you use the move Cloud Pierce, she'll be able to use hers. And that's what Elemental Mastery does. Mila's is actually kind of really easy to pull off. Now we're going to move on to Alvin here. So let's go ahead and activate Overlimit. And then his Mystic Art is Hellpire. And if you hold X...
I always got a few tricks on me.
He has Terminus Pride. And now Elise is pretty much really hard to pull off. But essentially, in order to do Elise's, you have to activate, well, obviously Overlimit. And then her Arcane Art is a spell. It's Ignite Terror. And if you do that... Probably my favorite one, Scary Go Round. I love that one. It's just, I love the name of that Mystic Art. But Anyways, now we're going to move on to Rowan here. Now, for Rowan, what we have to do is we have to, well, obviously activate Over Limit. And then his arcane art is Tidal Wave. It's a spell like everything else, and it's a really good spell, by the way. Grand Finale looks really awesome. I love that one. I love Grand Finale. And then finally, with Leia, we have to activate Over Limit like the other ones. And then if you use Soul Stoke Spin, she'll activate Soul Stoke Celebration. It is a very powerful and hurtful move. But anyways, that is everybody's Mystic Art. Now, I went ahead and did this off screen trying to activate the Mystic Arts because I kind of wanted to use this time to train a little bit, because you kind of have to be a little bit higher level for this because we are going to get into higher level boss fights, and I kind of wanted to prepare for it. So, as of right now, everybody's leveled up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and activate the Lilium Orbs and all that other stuff. So, I've been actually trying to get those Mystic Arts to go off for about 30 minutes in this recording session, because probably the hardest ones to activate would probably be Elise's, and to somewhat degree, Rowan's. Rowan's is not that hard, but trying to do with Elise is really hard because the timing, like the tune-up time to cast the art, is really long with Elise, and it goes in a straight path. You have to hit the enemy in order to activate Mystic Art. That's another thing. With Rowan, he kind of just, hits everybody on the field because it covers the whole entire field with Tidal Wave. So it's really not that hard with Rowan. But for Elise, it's really hard because it literally goes in a straight path. So enemies can literally dodge it really easily. It's really not that dependable, but it's really strong for that matter. But I kind of wanted to show everybody's Mystic Art because it looks really cool. But with that, in the next episode of Let's Play Tales of Xillia, we're going to venture on deeper into the E.S.S Zenethra and put it into these generators, so that way we can get past the barrier bars. So with that, I will see you guys in the next episode.